Good afternoon, Britain. As the spotlight stays on Windsor, demonstrations are breaking out across the country, not just against President Trump, but against the monarchy too.
Yes, in central London this afternoon, the Stop Trump Coalition will rally alongside the anti-monarchy group Republic.
So, joining us now, let's cross live to central London and speak to GB News' national reporter, Will Godley. Will, so what's happening there? What more can you tell us?
Well, Nana, already there are some protesters gathering here with placards, banners, all anti-Trump here in central London ahead of the planned protest due to start at 3 p.m. today. The organisers hoping for thousands of people to turn up here today. Hopefully, they say that'll be enough people to make their message loud and clear, even 25 miles away where Donald Trump is today in Windsor. And as you say, it's organised by the Stop Trump Coalition, a group of more than 50 campaign groups, including Greenpeace, Amnesty International, Black Lives Matter and Extinction Rebellion, to name a few. We can see more here today as well. The Stop the War Coalition behind me as well, Stand Up to Racism, and the Socialist Workers' Party, all with the common goal against Trump and Trumpism. Well, someone protesting today is joining me now, Louise Brown. Louise, thanks for joining GB News. Why are you here today?
I've come 300 miles from Newcastle because I felt strongly enough that Trump shouldn't be given a state visit. He's a convicted felon. I'm dressed as the Handmaid's Tale to show how much he's eroded women's rights. And I don't want those values to come over here. I'm sure all your viewers have got wives, sisters, daughters, and they wouldn't want their rights to be eroded either. He's also eroding migrant rights, trans, gay, and he shouldn't be given the airtime, and he shouldn't be here.
I mean, he's the President of the United States. You've got a sign here saying Trump not welcome. What does Trumpism mean for you?
So going back to The Handmaid's Tale, he's leading us into Gilead. So America's becoming Gilead again, when women don't have rights, gays don't have rights, migrants don't have rights, and I don't want those values coming over here.
Well, Louise, thanks for joining us on GB News. I can see your hat's nearly falling off your head from your costume there. She's going to be one of thousands organisers saying who are going to be protesting here today. You remember in 2018, of course, there was a similar protest against Trump where 250,000 people lined the streets of London, all against Donald Trump's visit to the UK. The Metropolitan Police are preparing for similar numbers today. They've launched what they're describing a significant policing operation with 1,600 officers lining the streets of London today ahead of a rally later on in Westminster where the likes of the Green Party leader Zach Polansky, former Labour Party leader of course Jeremy Corbyn, and the comedian Nish Kumar are going to be addressing the crowds there, because organisers also unhappy with how close the Labour government is to the Trump White House, and that's something that they're going to be rallying against in Westminster later on today. But the police here in central London are ensuring that that protest can happen safely and without any challenges or violence today. So far it's very calm. Protesters due to arrive in about half an hour or so today, and I'll be with you live throughout the afternoon, keeping you up to date on what's happening here in central London.
Excellent stuff, Will Godley. We'll be back with you as, of course, those numbers arrive, as the temperature perhaps turns up there in central London. But here in Windsor, much more to come. course, it's not just about what's going on in Windsor today. There's going to be a big protest in London, and of course, it seems that not everyone is cheering for the new president.
Yes, it seems that a new Ipsos poll shows just a third of Brits believe in the so-called special relationship with the US, whilst most admit that they're not exactly Trump's biggest fans.
Well, shall we speak now to the US and UK political advisor, Pablo O'Hanna. Pablo, clearly the relationship with the US is very important, but some of the polling suggests that not many Brits are that faithful in the strength of the special relationship.
Yeah, and I can tell you, listen, I think the UK-US relationship is important, but I can tell you, having been the stateside, the UK-US relationship, this sort of special relationship we all go on, is exclusively talked about over here. It isn't part of general conversation in the US. If I speak to people in the US about that, they really don't know what it means. They obviously know the United Kingdom and they sort of see us as an ally, but this sort of idea of a very special relationship that I think we talk up a little bit more than they do on the other side. But yeah, it is true that I think certainly.
Oh, come on, Pablo. I think if you were to ask the average American who's the closest ally of the United States, some might say Israel. I think most would say the United Kingdom. It's hard to think of another country that is a closer ally of the United States.
No, I'm not disputing that, but I just think this term, the special relationship, is pretty much exclusively used over here in the UK. I will say, though, that it has been the last few months that this sort of Brits have started to feel, slightly less warm towards the United States. Certainly, when we saw the scenes in the White House with Zelensky over there, that really turned people off. We know that Brits in the UK are very firmly with Ukraine. They feel very, very strongly about that. That hasn't moved at all, really, since Russia's unprovoked invasion. So we know that Trump's less than helpful relationship with Putin and his kind of, lackluster support for Ukraine has really damaged his standing in the UK anyway. Not that it was, particularly high, but that really has eroded support for him here in the UK.
Yes, but didn't Donald Trump himself call it the special relationship only a few days ago? So, I think we might play it up a bit, but I think it's really important that we are really kind of bedfellows, especially in trade, and we did get a preferential trade deal as well. So, against the EU, and he doesn't like the EU at all.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I think it's important that we have a relationship with America, and I think something like this visit is really important that we actually get something out of it. Unfortunately, we've seen, as you guys were talking about just before I came on, that we aren't probably going to get any movement on the steel tariffs. But there are really, really important things that we can get out of this visit, and that is what the government and Starmer should be focusing on. Less about kind of taking cues from America and really setting our own pace. We are one of the greatest countries in the world, in my opinion, the greatest. But we have an incredible country that is capable of really fantastic things, and one of them is being the kind of moral compass, the moral clarity for the world. And I think, particularly on things like Ukraine, on NATO, we can be leading the way on that, and we can be bringing Trump with us and saying, listen, you can have the pomp, you can have the ceremony. Nobody, no country in the world does that better than the United Kingdom. We know that, and we know that Trump loves it. So I think this should be an opportunity about using this as a way to kind of guide and kind of bring Trump towards us in the places that we need him to be, particularly things like NATO and Ukraine. I would have also added steel, but I think that one might be gone for now.
All right, Pablo O'Hanna, thank you very much. He's a UK political advisor, US and UK political advisor. Interesting that although it doesn't feel like much, it seems like such a small thing to be able to offer, pomp and ceremony, and there's not much. Do you think that helps our standing in the world, or does it make us look a bit weak?
Oh no, I think
got?
this country is built upon its history. I mean, what other country in the world has a history like this? An unbroken line of a royal family dating back to the Norman conquest.
But
it's not all we have,
some people
but it's an
feel
important foundation.
No, I agree with you on that.